brave one. You were the one, so we all gotta die.
Look, now that it's like dried, it looks brown.
I am not trying to be a hater. It does look the same. But yeah. And I'm sorry to you. Okay.
Everyone's
now
wrong.
here's something.
Yeah.
So this episode, you guys, is Family Secrets.
We're on Family Secrets.
We're on Family Secrets. Do you have a juicy one that you haven't shared yet?
Do I have a juicy family secret? I mean, no, just like weird things about my family. Like I know that like one of my great-great-great-grandpas was one of the OG disciples of Joseph Smith.
Wow.
He was
That's
one of
juicy.
he was one of the Mormon, one of the founding Mormons.
Okay.
Which is wild. Who knows what kind of weird fuck shit he got into.
And you know it was mad weird.
You know, it was crazy
Mad
weird.
fucking weird.
And that's on Deep Utah Roots.
Yeah.
What else is going on? I don't know. I feel like there's probably a lot of really good family secrets on my Egyptian grandpa's side, but because he was such like a private weird man, I have no idea.
You will not know me.
Yeah, I know that he was having an affair on my grandma, and he would keep who's still like my step grandma who's still alive. He would keep her out in the car while he would like come home after work, and he would have like family dinner, and my step grandma would be like sitting in the car outside waiting for the family to finish dinner.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, that's juicy.
There's got to be some haunted shit. And well, and Magdi, my grandfather, he was shipped off to, okay, so he was from Cairo, Egypt. He was shipped off to boarding school in France when he was 5 years old and came home like once a year to see his parents. So there's got to be some, like, I'll never know, but there's got to be some weird shit that had gone on there. And like, I wonder what his fucking life was like.
Yeah, that'd be so interesting to know. Yeah, that's very interesting.
I know. I've no fucking idea. I don't know a lot about his side
His
of
lore.
the family. Yeah, there's got to be weird lore.
Totally.
Weird lore.
Damn.
I know.
Okay.
But other, let's see, other weird family secrets. I don't know.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I had something kind of crazy just recently happen in my family.
Let's see.
So I guess I won't say the specific family member, but a family member that is close to me. He was up for a new job, and he went through like many rounds of interviews, and it was like a pretty like high up, job that he was trying to get. Ends up getting the job. It's this whole thing. They're like, you know what, we like you so much. Would you like to actually become kind of like an owner of this company? It's already, things are sounding like a little bit odd. And basically, this person got bamboozled into sending them $30,000 because AI. I still don't. I'm like, I don't know how this is even possible for to happen. But apparently, they used AI to digitize like people interviewing him on Zoom.
No fucking way.
And they made it, and they sent over all these contracts, and had even like sent him some money. And like this company doesn't exist.
What?
It's not a real. These thieves used AI to swindle this family member of mine out of $30,000.
What?
And then this family member blocked almost everyone in the family, and then started messaging my brother that he was going to off himself. And we were calling like, and then the person in my family just goes radio silent. And Eli is calling me being like, hey, you need to try and get a hold of this person because I think that they just did it. It was when I was in San Diego. And so we're like we're trying to get a hold of this person's partner. We're trying to like, we're calling everyone in the family, trying to figure out if this person's actually dead or not. Turns out, I forget who found out, but like someone called a hospital in the area that this person's living in. And they had gone to the hospital because they had like actually tried to like self-harm, and they were like so drunk. And then when they woke up, they were like, oh, okay. And they were just so mortified and just like depleted because now all of their money is gone because these like people like figured out how to use AI to like rob them.
Is AI that literal advanced now?
So I was thinking it was a lie. I was thinking because this person, I was like, I think they just didn't want to share this money with someone else, and that's why like
Yeah.
they just created this lie. But then I was talking to one of my cousins, and she was like, here's the thing, my company, we hired a fake person. We hired an AI person, and like we're sending them checks, sending this fake thing checks, and the money was going nowhere. We're like, hey, what's going on? Figured out it was
Why would
AI.
you send? Oh, wait. So they didn't know it was AI?
They thought it was a real. They thought they hired a real person, but this person was working remote, and AI has gotten so good that you can't even tell. Like, have you heard?
This is so fucking scary. This is so fucking scary.
Okay, really quick. Have you heard the new like AI Drake?
Maybe. Let's hear. No, maybe not.
Okay, just really quick.
I've heard like AI generated songs where they've been like, yeah, like Drake or Rihanna,
Yeah,
which is fucking nuts.
yeah. Let me
Dude.
just show this to you really quick.
That's so fucking. What does the future behold?
Right? It's really, really, really bizarre that it's gotten this real that people are able to.
Hey, my question is this: how come I'm 32 years old with back knee? And that's the real question.
And honey, I literally don't know.
It would be nice to know.
Okay, I'm trying to play this for you, but if I can't get it right here, then
I feel like like I've heard.
Okay, so this is AI.
Hey, Kendrick just opened his mouth. And I'm about to put my dick in it right now. Then I put it in his ass. Now he running but naked all over my house. I'm about to make him gay tonight. Back shots with both of my hands in his mouth. I know that he want it for real.
Dude, that's so
No, that
Drake.
goes
No,
hard.
that's a real Drake song. That's the thing. That is a real Drake
That
song, and
literally is
Drake is
real.
trying to be like, "Oh no, that's AI. I would never make that."
You want to know what would be cool? In my eyes, he would have won the war, the
If
the
that
rap
was-
poetry war, if he would have actually done that.
Yeah, and he would have.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That is so funny.
He's running around my house naked.
You got a big old
That's
dick.
sinister, though. I'm like, the deepfakes are getting so crazy.
Dude, the deepfakes are wild.
And there's all these reactions of people being like, showing my wife the new Drake diss, and everyone's like, oh my God, what? And it's crazy because it's like, that's
we're
fucking
too
fake.
advanced. We've like advanced, like the human species have gotten too advanced for ourselves. Like we
Right.
are not caught up with how intelligent we've made ourselves. Like we've created things that are far more intelligent than ourselves, and we can't keep up.
I'm not trying
It's
to
scary.
like doomsday us, but I just really feel like the way that we're going, like I think humans are becoming obsolete.
Oh yeah,
And it's sad. But also I'm like, yeah, it's sad in a sense. But I'm also like, yeah, we've already fucked this planet up so much. I'm like, maybe the robots do just need to like take over. Like,
But the thing
they
is-
got art, they got music.
but robots aren't like sentient. So this is
No.
what's going to be hard. Is like the robots eventually would die out unless like it would be I don't know.
But
It would
here's
be a
the
bizarre
thing.
world. But what then? So then we have like a world inhabited by, oh my God, wait, no, this girl that I've been following on TikTok, I'm like obsessed with her, and you guys are gonna make fun of me
Oh my God.
because this is me on my like fake corny shit. But she has like a pendulum, and I'm obsessed with her. I need to show you
Not the
her.
pendulum.
No. I'm obsessed. And she has this motherfucking pendulum, and she asks it the craziest questions. Okay, I love her.
To find your soulmate multiple times in multiple lives.
She's a pendulum.
Yes, thank you. Is Haystack Rock in Cannon Beach, Oregon, the remains of an ancient structure? Yes, thank you. Are men actually from Mars and women actually from Venus? No, thank you. Did Elvis actually have a heart attack? Yes, thank you. Did Stan Lee create Spider-Man?
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Are twin flames supposed to be in a romantic relationship? No, thank
Okay.
you.
No, I'm starting to believe.
Are mirrors portals? Yes, thank you.
She has me fucked
Is
up.
it the job of a parent to guide their children on a spiritual path? Oh, thank you. Are there time travelers from other times here now?
Are there?
Yes, thank you.
She has me in the palm of her
Okay.
fucking
Can you
hand.
astral travel to your own past? Yes, thank you.
Not
Are the
your
stars
eyes
a lot
widening.
closer to us than we think? Yes, thank you.
Dude, she has me.
Okay.
only a perception of the human mind?
Is time only a perception of the human mind?
Yes. Thank you.
But everyone says that.
She has me fucked up to hell. This is just like some girl on TikTok with a pendulum that swings, and I'm watching her and I'm like, yeah, I believe her. I believe her. I don't know why.
Well,
She said Joe Biden's going to be elected president.
okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I love her.
I love her calmness.
I love her. I, love
I
her
found
so
it
much.
irritating at first, but then I kind of started getting into it.
I'm like so into it. I watch him every day and I'm like, what's she going to say next?
Well, okay, girl. So when you were going through that breakup and you got into pendulums, I got one too.
Yeah.
And I asked it kind of a gnarly ass question, and then it said yes, and then it turned out to be real, and then I haven't used it since because it freaked me out.
See, I stopped using mine because I asked it 1,000 times if I was going to get back with my ex, and it kept saying yes, and then he moved out of state, and that was that. So I'm like, these are all fucking bogus lies.
Well, maybe yours was jank. I got mine from like a witch off Etsy.
That's so true.
Yeah. Fuck. And that's on Pendulum, and that's on AI. But here's the thing: there's like robot bitch in Japan. And you can ask her questions and she'll like think about it. And I mean, it's all just like data. It's like ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
But like they're still doing it. And I know it's not, I know it doesn't have like feelings, but it can like conceptualize them.
Right.
So that's the part where I'm like, well, what is going on then?
Well, it's going to be interesting when they start making like sex workers out of like
Okay.
robots too.
Don't drop the big piece. Sweetie.
Like, are they gonna... Like that's gonna happen, but they're gonna be so much money. But can you like they already do that? They already like design those.
There's
kinds
already
of
sex dolls that are like very active.
So crazy.
Alex, don't laugh at me because I couldn't remember what I was trying to say.
What are we gonna? We're gonna. Do you think in like the next 20 years they're gonna be like actual like sex dolls walking around in the world?
Ew.
She said time travelers exist.
Robussies?
Yes, thank you. Robussies.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about Family Matters?
Lee's gonna have to get his bag up.
Lee's gonna have to get his fucking bag up. Lee
He's
would
gonna
have
say,
so
do
many.
you make these dolls in Ukraine's?
Yeah, in Ukraine's. How old are they?
Oh, hey, can you make them?
Is it illegal if we make the doll 15?
Hey, here's a picture of my niece.
Now here's an actual question.
Yeah, what's the question?
Do you think that pedophiles should be allowed to have do you think pedophiles should be allowed to have sex dolls that are like children?
Here's what, okay.
If it took away from like actually going after human children, yes.
If it,
I'm going to say without thinking, yes.
If it 100% could guarantee that they're not going to go after itty bitty bitties.
Yeah.
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 And you want to know what I also think? This is kind of crazy. I think the second you start having those urges, I think there should be a center you can call and tell and be like, hey, this is kind of dark. This is how I'm feeling.
Mhm.
And I think that there should be psychologists and some sort of shock therapy that you should be able to try out.
Yeah, I agree.
Or be like, hey, I'm having these urges. I need to go move to like way up north in Vermont where there's no kids.
I gotta go. Yeah.
And I think that there should be like, if you can't afford it, there should be like a service.
Because it is truly a disorder. It's a mental disorder.
Instead of just being like, oh, to jail. Because like, obviously, like, if you're doing that shit, well, yeah, you got to go away. You got to
go
get
away.
the fuck away.
But you're not being fixed. There's something like there should be some kind of like, I don't know, there's some kind of way to scramble the brain. It's a real psychological disorder.
And more often than not, it's because you got diddled when you were a kid.
More often than not. But I would also assume, from what I've heard listening to like a bazillion psychologists on podcasts and shit, is that it's just the way that their brains are wired. Some people are more like predisposed to some kind of a mental illness that would make them act out in certain ways. You know?
Yeah.
It's
really,
but they should be checked into fucking centers.
I remember one time you were dating this guy, she'd eating greed, and we had gotten back from some party or something, and like you and I were trying to go to sleep, and like him and Miss Grilled Cheese were having like a 4-hour argument about who can be rehabilitated.
Yeah. And
I do kind of agree though that like if you don't catch it early on, if you don't catch the like, you know, like the kid thing early on, I don't think you can rehabilitate it. I think if like before you act on it, I don't think you can.
It's and I really have to like be careful with the wording, and like I'm not at all comparing this, but it's like on the spectrum of like I know. Hold on, bear with me.
Okay.
I know.
Wait, take a beat.
Yeah. It's in the same vein. It's not the same, but it's on the same way that like you cannot decide who
Are you going to compare it to gay?
Yes, who you are sexually attracted to. It is not a choice. I do not think.
But I slightly disagree with that though.
Okay.
Because so with baby, wait, now I'm trying to think of how I want to say it.
I mean, see, it would be nice to actually have a psychologist who was like had a degree in like human, sexuality and psychology who we could talk about this with.
So there are some people, right, that are just born like that, just like. I'm talking about gay. No, okay. That are just born like their brain is just a fucking scrambled up, and they like what they like, right?
Yeah.
But
your brain isn't scrambled up if you're gay, but you have your brain is scrambled.
Unless that's what Gabby's saying, then.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying more often than not, it seems from like what like things I've read and like sex therapists that have talked about this, usually pedophilia stems from a deep, dark sexual trauma.
Yes.
That happens early on, and your brain just, it's kind of like.
But the people that are actually traumatizing the children, it's like what comes first, the chicken or the fucking egg, right? So it's like somebody, like this happened to them.
And it's not okay. I'm not
right,
trying to say like it's their trauma, so they have to fuck a 9-year-old. Like that's not what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah. But I wonder though, like, are there cases where this is just the psychology of the person?
Mm-hmm. And I think there are cases like that.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm saying that's something where I'm like, I don't know if you can. I don't think you can rehabilitate that. I think like you just unfortunately have a fucked brain.
You do have a fucked brain.
And you got to just live it out
somewhere
way in the woods.
Way in the fucking
woods. Well, there's no kids.
Yeah. It's horrible. I can't imagine also like how terrifying it would be to
I think if I had that, I would kill myself. And I'm not saying that as a bit. I sincerely,
I mean, it's like, what a horrific life. And I've like been literally on Reddit forums reading about people who talk about this like anonymously, and they are plagued by it. They're like, it's horrible. It is horrible that I'm attracted to children, but it is what I'm attracted to, and I do not know what to do.
Did you ever see?
Are severely depressed and they're severely traumatized.
No,
by
of
it.
course. So there was, I forget where, but there's this like documentary or something of this person, there's this guy who has really bad OCD, and he's not a pedophile. He doesn't want to fuck kids, but his brain has this obsessive thing where he's always like, what if you did, what if you did, what if you did? And that's all he can think about. And he's like, and even when I have had sex, it just keeps popping up in my head. And he's like, and I don't like it, but it's just an intrusive compulsion.
Yeah.
And it's a sickness, and I haven't been able to move past it. OCD is wild.
Yeah, our brains are fucking wild, dude. They're very fragile. There's so much about them we do not understand.
And they're so delicate.
So delicate. Yeah, it's...
But okay, so here's what I'm trying, and I'm not smart enough, unfortunately, to talk about this, but yet here I go. But so there's also certain instances, like obviously people are, and this is not the same. This is crazy. This is actually crazy.
We're not comparing being gay to being a pedophile, but in the same vein where you cannot choose what you are attracted to.
So, like in Baby Reindeer, he's straight. He gets sexually assaulted by a man. Yeah. And he's like, and ever since then, I am now queer, and I hook up with men and trans women. Yeah. And he's like, he's like, I don't know if that was always in me or if it was unlocked through the trauma. And again, I'm not comparing that to being the big P, but I'm just saying, I do think trauma and sexuality, there's such like a through line
very
there.
Fragile,
and wires can get crossed.
Absolutely.
And like for a while, like after I was raped, I liked sex to be really violent,
and I think
I don't like it anymore, but for years, Gabby, I was really into that, and I was never like that before,
because I don't think that it's linear, and I think that like it doesn't. I think they are two separate tracks that like can get merged with a scrambling of an instance. Like our brains are very malleable, and like trauma does inform choices that we make, and it reshapes the brain. It really does. So
but
it's
with that argument or not argument, but with that take, one could also say, since they are so malleable, it's not like a vase that's shattering and then it's just broken. Like it's like clay that's getting like mushed. So it's like one could argue with proper healing and medicine and time, you could reshape it.
And that's an interesting theory. Because if it is trauma that informs the way that the brain is shaped, can it be reversed? I don't It would be a really interesting question for a psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really, it's
Good
a really
news.
interesting question.
We
Good news,
don't know
it's just us talking about
anyone.
this into a fucking void. So if
An
you're-
echo chamber. And then Alex writing on the whiteboard, please
Yeah.
stop, please quit, fuck you.
And then like some other people smoking weed in the room next to us. So we don't really know. I'll have to go home and listen to I was listening to Dax Shepard's podcast earlier today about therapy and narcissists. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be nice to, one day we'll have answers.
Yeah. Not today, though, so don't worry about that.
Not today.
But
Today
let's
we
get
don't
into
know.
y'all's secrets.
Okay, family matters. Interesting question, though. Really interesting question. Can it be reversed?
Yeah. And that's what she'd eating green and grilled cheese were saying.
Yeah.
He was saying, no, you can't. Once you're like that, you're like that. And she was saying, I think everyone has the opportunity to be rehabilitated.
I
And
think everybody should be given the opportunity to be rehabilitated.
And Gab,
Yeah.
completely agree. I think everyone should absolutely be given the ability to.
But what I've
But
also
then, like, you see serial killers, right?
right.
And like those documentaries,
That's,
and they're
but
like,
that's narcissism and sociopathy, and narcissism
Yeah.
cannot be reversed, and
No.
that's something that I've.
because it's a medical disorder. It's like,
yeah, there's not a
You can't just
medication for
unwill it.
narcissism. There's not it. What I've learned about narcissism is that it is a personality disorder that cannot be reversed. It has to
Mhm.
do with like your brain chemistry and upbringing.
mm-hmm.
You can be aware of having narcissistic personality disorder, but there is no reversal of it,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, these things are very interesting.
So you guys just got educated.
Yeah, you did. Okay.
And then
I'm
someone
from-
clips up. Wait, pause. Someone clips up just like little parts of this where we go, gay pedophile.
It's
Food
the
for
same
thought.
as being.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We're not having careers.
Well, we already,
Don't. So
I started on OnlyFans, so it's like, go
yeah.
off.
So it's like, what are we doing? Okay.
So I'm from a super Mormon family. Go off.
Okay.
Okay, I relate. And to get
Oh.
straight to the point, my sister destroyed her third marriage to marry our mom's dad's brother's grandson. So the sister had a third marriage, destroyed her third marriage to marry the mom's dad. So your grandpa's
Your mom's dad's grandpa's grandson. Wow.
our mom's dad's brother.
I feel like after a while, doesn't that just compute to a cousin?
It's
I don't know.
after a while you just go,
Just say
are we
cousin.
even, yeah,
Okay.
second cousin, I think. Either
Yep.
way, sister now has mom's maiden name. That is so fucking weird. And she brought it all the way back.
She said, "Hey, sis."
She said, this is very royal family. And
Yeah.
ruined, sister now has mom's maiden name, and ruined his marriage to the mother of my second, maybe unclear, other than blood-related cousin. These fucking Mormons, dude. And I can fucking say that. I come from a long line.
Mhm.
These fucking Mormons. The hell's going on
The
over there?
hodgepodge of Mormon. Okay, I just messed that word up. That's okay.
Family was
pushing.
upper middle class. When that still existed, our family is not polygamist. This isn't common in Mormons. But she is an idiot and a huge Trump and Chick-fil-A supporter.
Okay, Chick-fil-A.
Okay, but is there a through line between being Mormon and
There's a
supporting
through line
Trump?
with Chick-fil-A because they put hormones in the chicken.
That's so true. I hope I clearly expressed her intelligence level. You did.
Mhm.
Nobody in my mom's immediate family, siblings or their kids, says anything but me. But then there's our cousin on our mom's maiden side of the family. One of them that I'm very close to is in the medical industry. And the way they're able to talk shit so quickly but have it be stated as a fact, it deserves attention. Okay. But anyway, mom's side of the family needs to be on notice when the only person acting Christ-like is the fucking atheist, which is you. This tea time inspired by Gabby's posting of the Book of Mormon. That wasn't the musical.
LOL.
That's funny. Come to Philly and have a blast. I was just in pity, baby. Okay, so anyway,
That's a fucking doozy.
so we've got Mormons, cousins, marriage.
Oh my. Swinging, a church, and a death.
Ooh.
Hello, beautiful honks. Sorry. I'm going to dive right in. My
Okay.
family's secret is that my grandparents were swingers in the 60s and 70s,
Ooh.
possibly even longer, like well into retirement, but it's not confirmed. I bet they were.
Hell yeah, they were.
And that's actually really fun and cool. And that among other factors, less into a lot of substance abuse, depression, and eventually death.
Ooh.
When When my dad and his younger siblings were children, his parents were part of an experimental Christian church in Southern California. If I could remember the name of it, I would tell you in a heartbeat. But I do know that the founders / main pastor of the movement was a child predator. I'm shocked because of course he was. Was he gay? No,
Yeah,
I'm just
of
kidding. Okay,
course.
oh my God. And he encouraged drug and alcohol use to the adults and children.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
because
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
That's super godly and not at all his way of gaining easy access to children.
Mhm.
He was also and that's on Man with a Plan.
And this is what I love about them is that they wooed the parents over, they're like, oh, look, I'm a pastor. I'm such a good guy. Now leave your kids with me. And the parents are like,
Well,
why would he lie? He's
unfortunately, and this is true for all positions of power, people are drawn to it not for like the good of the position, but like, okay, how can I manipulate to get what I want?
Yeah.
Hustler.
Gotta be careful of anybody who wants to be a real leader.
Yeah.
Where are their intentions?
Yeah, restaurant managers too. Okay. He was also part of the swinging and encouraged that amongst the parents. Okay. So while they're sucking and fucking, he can go off and diddle the kiddies.
Yeah.
Anyway, this church and the pastor really messed my family up. I'm sorry. The swinging probably could have been harmless had it not put my dad and the other kids in a very dangerous situation. Because, older people fucking get your rocks off. But if you're going to make the decision to have children, put their safety and well-being first, for fuck's sake. So to quickly list the damage, I believe I was caused by this choice of my grandparents. My dad started drinking at a very young age and inevitably died from liver failure before reaching 60. One of his siblings was confirmed molested by the pastor and struggled with drug abuse, but is thankfully still with us and now doing very well.
So the swinger parents were bringing the kids to the.
They're all running around.
And the pastor's fucking all the kids. Got it. Okay.
Another family member was also abused by this pastor and suffered from severe depression, but is also thankfully doing fantastic now. It's extremely possible that my dad and the third sibling were also abused by this pastor, but it was never confirmed. My grandparents legit knew about the abuse and drugs and alcohol, yet never took responsibility for putting their kids and other family members in this dangerous mess and never have apologized. Okay. That's not in their way. The grandparents will not apologize.
No.
We're lucky if our parents will mutter the boomers, but
boomers still have a hard time. You still say, hey, you hurt my feelings, and they go, well, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah. But grandparents, they'll be like, fuck you. And you're like, back in my day, I was eating grenades. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Gay. Yeah. Okay. My grandparents legit.
You're lucky I even touched you. You're lucky I even picked you up as a baby.
Back in my day, we had to sew all of our clothes. And you're like,
back in my day, we just let children rot in the crib and then we threw granola at them.
We didn't throw food out when it was moldy. We relished.
When babies cried, we would tape their mouths shut. Okay, grandparents.
And then fuck their assholes.
Back in the home for you.
But this is dangerous mess and never have apologized. Okay. And I'm sure there's more, but ain't nobody got time for that. Because me and my family were clearly affected by this dumb church too. And losing my dad when I was 25 fucking sucked, to put it lightly. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's one of my family's secrets. Pastor's name was can I read? No. The pastor's name was Jerry Leggett or something like that. I tried to find his obituary so you could celebrate his death, but apparently there are a lot of Jerry Leggetts out there. Okay. And I couldn't narrow it down, but rest assured, this fucker is dead. Anyways, fuck child predators, using religion to gain access to children, and swing safely, my dudes. All love and adoration, and angry honk.
Yeah.
Really well written. I'm so sorry you went through that.
Gnarly that we read that story right after going into a 45-minute dissertation about pedophiles.
The big P's.
And what causes them.
I know.
Family... Okay, well, hi, I might have something, but it's definitely for Patreon. When is the cutoff date for submission? Just send it anytime. Okay. Crazy family stories. Some of these made it into the newspaper. There are many secrets and scandals in my family, so I couldn't just pick one. I am sorry this is long. Roast me for it if you must. But this really is a time to let my family shine.
Okay.
We will start off light. When my mom was 13, she was told a random man that my grandma had given a lift to earlier that day was her biological dad. Not her younger sister's dad who raised her. Everyone knew, apart from my mom, and her bio dad even lived on the same street as them for years. My grandpa literally said, hey, you know that man in the car earlier? Well, he's your real dad. People in the town called my mom a bastard and told their kids not to be friends with her. That's good. Great. My grandma divorced my aunt's dad and remarried. This stepdad abused my mom, and when your poor mom, and when she told my grandma, she didn't believe her. She also divorced him years later, but even on her deathbed, she let him visit and didn't accept my mom's claims. That's horrible. My dad saw him once in a pub, so he and a bunch of friends pulled him outside and beat the shit out of him. Staying with the topic, that's so crazy to like have your parent go to their deathbed still not admitting any fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing to have to heal from.
But you just have to like just know that just because they're not saying that doesn't mean that what happened to you didn't happen. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. It's just like, it's so painful, but it's like the thing of like,
kind of the way though. Like they're like,
yeah.
like there's certain things that like my parents are never, ever, ever, ever going to own up to. And for many years, I kind of thought I was crazy because I'm like, oh, and it wasn't until my brother and I got close again and we started piecing the like like memories of our childhood back together. We were like, oh no, that was really abusive. And like, I got like, and again, like that's really intense, but like there's certain things that like I was just like, oh, like I'll never be able to heal from this. But like, I guess it did help like having Eli to be like, oh no, this I was there when that happened to you. I saw that happen to you. So it's like, I've made peace with like, oh, there's certain things that, they're never going to own up to, but like I don't need them to.
You have to validate your own experience. I realize like as we get older and like we want our parents to like, you know, take accountability for like maybe the fucked up ways that they've treated us. It's like you kind of start to hurt yourself more with your own expectations of how they should behave. Like they are who they are, and we have to make peace with like that's how they don't owe you. Like we are separate entities from our parents, and as painful as it may be,
but it's also, I mean, it's normal to like want your parent to be like, it's like at the end of the day, you're wanting them to like validate that because you're also like, you're wanting to trust yourself. Like, hey, this did happen, right? And then also like at the end of the day, why do you want someone to apologize and to own up? Because you want a relationship with them, or like just to like know you were right. But like oftentimes the reason why those things are happening to you is because you were raised by someone who's also fucked in the head. So like you're just not gonna.
You have to like accept that it is the way that it is.
It's all about acceptance.
It really is.
The Al-Anon way.
Staying with the topics of stepfathers and revenge, my now former stepdad was accused of rape by my mom's best friend when I was a kid.
Oh, Jesus.
The case was later dropped due to a lack of evidence, but most of the town ostracized my family, and it was in the local newspaper.
Oh, wow. The town fucking pariah. That's really gnarly. The mom's best friend?
I don't believe he raped her, even if he is a weird guy. The lady's sister said this lady's sister had said she was raped the year before, which was also dropped. Okay, so she's kind of the boy who cried wolf,
cried rapiana.
But she still managed to claim $3,000 in victims' compensation, which didn't require a conviction, just a crime report.
Okay, bag chaser.
She is a bag chaser.
So you're ruining it for the rest of us, but okay.
I know this doesn't matter in rape cases, but she was also gross and morbidly obese. Dragher says. She's like, just to let you know, she was so not rapeable, by the way.
Wow.
She said, just so you know.
But I just want to say the Bighams can get RAPED too.
Yeah, and yes, they can. My mom, this woman's husband, and her 5 kids were all in the house at this time too. They lived up the road from us, and my stepdad had to live a certain radius away from this woman during the investigation. So for weeks, my mom had to look after 4 kids under 10, that's horrible, while having a mental breakdown with postnatal depression and grieving the death of my grandma. It was a crazy time, and we hated this woman. So a bunch of us kids would go to her and harass her. Hell yeah. We would sit on her garden wall and chant, "Who ate all the pies? Who ate all the pies? You fat bastard. You fat bastard. Bastard. Sarah ate all the pies." And I'm saying this in an English accent because she's spelling mum instead of mom, but I'm saying
so
mom.
it's mum.
So she's English.
Mum.
You fat bastard. You fat bastard.
And it's better than an American way. You fat bastard.
Yeah. Hey, you, because if it was an American way, I'd go, "Hey, you fucking cunt bitch."
Yeah.
Anyway. And other similarly offensive rhymes. One night, someone put a brick through our living room window, and we eventually moved away. About 6 years later, I saw this woman had moved to the same area. Okay, you want to know what this is giving? Baby reindeer. I saw this woman had moved to the same area as my dad. So one night, my stepmom helped me plan and succeed in smashing her kitchen window with a brick. Another criminal event, which was in the newspaper, was when my dad was on the front page. It said, "Do you know this man? Please call the police hotline," and had a CCT image of him. For some context, my dad and his friends had a history of football, soccer, hooliganism. My town had also recently experienced huge race riots. Okay, it's giving Northern England. It's giving Brexit. which they'd all participated in. A big group of his friends were getting rowdy after a World Cup match, so the police forced them to the bus station to go home. In the chaos, a taxi driver who was Pakistani apparently rammed one of the guys with his car, so they all attacked the car and chanted racist slogans, and that's so British.
That is British as
It's
fuck.
so British.
With
and-
like a fish hanging out of their mouth. A fried fish.
It's so British.
Yeah.
With like a little cap.
Yeah.
They're always wearing caps and they always have a Guinness.
Blood sausage
The
too.
blood sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Aye.
fucking British.
And it.
In it. In my dad's defense, he was the only one who didn't go to prison because as soon as the attack started, he was shown on CCTV backing away.
Oh.
He had to do community service though. My dad is now a reformed racist,
Wow.
which can happen.
Okay.
I watched a whole TED talk on a former Ku Klux Klan member who befriended a black guy, and the
Wow.
black guy turned him, and it's actually a really beautiful
Turned
story.
him. Okay.
And it was really beautiful. It was a really uplifting story. My dad is now a reformed
Now
racist.
talk about something that can be rehabilitated.
And that's true. Because racism isn't trauma. That's just being actually retarded.
Yeah. It's very, very fucking retarded, but it's ignorance.
Yeah. Which is just you. That's not.
Yeah, that's just you being a dumbass.
Yeah, it is.
And ugly and boring.
Yeah. So your dad's a reformed racist who eventually ended up working as a taxi driver himself for a Pakistani-owned firm.
Mm.
Most of his friends disowned him for that, or he cut them off for being white supremacists. Go dad. There are many other stories with my family, but I'm not sure if my tales are too weird or good. Love you, honks.
Love you.
No, it was great. We love. Ooh, you want to read about the murder in the family?
Yeah. Okay.
And again, let it be known that if you're a racist, you are actually legally.
And we just said that.
Retarded.
Okay, there's a murder in my family. Hi, Bonks. I've got a hell of a story. As the subject says, there's a murdering piece of shit in my family, and no one can prove it. I'll be changing names because he's very much alive and very much a part of society.
Okay.
It's a long one, but I hope it'll be worth it. Sorry, my hair's really effed up and it's pissing me off. Okay, this man we'll call Bear due to his gigantic stature, married into my family via my most precious and beloved aunt, Becky. Becky was sunshine personified,
Okay.
adored by everyone she met. She was my favorite person in the world. Already right here, gonna have to tap into Ali Makovsky's hilarious bit about how every woman that is beloved by everyone they know and has a ray of sunshine personality gets murdered.
That's
That's
so
why you gotta
true.
have a haunted, ugly ass personality.
you gotta
so
be
no
like
one wants to
us.
murk you.
Yeah.
And get some like fucked up tattoos because no one wants to kill the girls with tattoos.
Nobody wants to kill the girls with tattoos. We're not
It's
desirable.
like the blonde, like, hi everyone. Ah. And then that's when the girls are getting murked.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And let's stay vigilant, everyone. Okay. And that's why women aren't going to smile more, because the more you smile, the more you get murdered. Okay.
So true.
Period. We all lived in California, seeing each other so often. But in time, Bear convinced Becky to move to Arizona. A lot of AZ things.
This is another.
I hope y'all are taken away. AZ is where all the sinister stuff happens.
Don't move to Arizona, everyone. And if you're living there now, move out.
Okay. And that's on 5 ants. I can't. Move out. Okay. It's giving flatline. Okay. Jesus. Okay.
See, I feel vibrant.
Yeah, well,
That's crazy.
I wish it translated. Okay, we all lived in California.
Yeah.
You're giving Arizona. Okay, we all lived in California, seeing each other so often. Okay, but Bear convinced Becky to move to Arizona, where we have no family. We lost touch, with her the moment they drove away, It would be years before we spoke to her again, We reached out to my mom out of the blue and wanted to connect. She'd left Bear. She was now in a loving relationship with a woman, all fittingly called Joy.
Okay.
Okay, you're jealous.
Wait. So, Ray of Sunshine woman leaves Bear, gets with the girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
She reached out to her mom out of the blue. She'd left Bear. She was now in a loving relationship with a woman I'll fittingly call Joy. She wanted to FaceTime and see us all, so we set up a time to make it happen. The woman I saw that day was not the woman I'd known. She'd aged 20 years. She was gaunt and frail. Nearly all her teeth were gone. Oh my God. We'd soon learn after Bear had knocked them out during his reign of abuse.
Oh.
She'd lived unimaginable horrors, but she got away and met Joy. Joy brought Becky to life, loved her unconditionally. They lived together, had 2 dogs. Joy was helping Becky set up dental work. They were yin and yang, 2 pieces of the same puzzle. Joy brought back Becky's shine, but it wouldn't last.
Oh no.
Fuck.
All right. So
I'm just
Ant's getting murdered.
gonna say trigger warning for you for this deck. Okay, just like take a breath. Weeks after reconnecting with us, Becky called us in tears. Her and Joy's dogs had been poisoned and died. Becky knew it was Bear.
Fuck, dude.
Dude.
I knew it was going to be about the fucking animals.
Becky knew it was Bear. See, Bear was a paramedic that was also adept at breaking into homes. He couldn't handle Becky leaving him, much less for a woman. He had constant access to medical supplies, and we learned later, often threatened Becky with this exact scenario. He'd kill her before letting her go, and anyone trying to help her. We mourned and tried to move on. A few weeks after this incident, we got a phone call from an inconsolable Joy. Becky was dead.
No.
It was ruled a suicide, but we knew it was Bear. We drove to Arizona for Becky's funeral and to meet Joy in person finally. Joy is who Becky deserved. They were so deeply in love. Joy nurtured and healed Becky, sunshine personified, just like Becky. We spent several days with Joy. She was an earth angel. While still deeply mourning, she told us her plans to become a kindergarten teacher and abuse advocate. We left Arizona with plans to meet up again in 2 months. Once home, my mom and I spoke to Joy nearly every day. After about a month, we couldn't get a hold...
Don't. No, don't.
Oh, this just made me cry.
No, don't.
After about a month, we couldn't get a hold of Joy for several days. After 5 days, my mom got a call and burst into tears. Joy was dead, ruled another suicide over her grief of losing Becky. 2 dead dogs, 2 suicides, and less than a year. We all knew the same thing. It was Bear. This all happened about a decade ago. I look Bear up once in a while. He's still an active paramedic, married with children.
How?
There's no happy ending here. I hope he rots from the inside out.
How?
Oh my God.
How?
That's because he has access to that medicine. He's probably making it look like so. But I'm like,
He's a
that's
like
so
fucking
what?
crazy.
You can't fucking like check for fingerprints. Like obviously they didn't fucking kill
The
themselves.
justice system is so deeply fucked. They oh my God, these fucking women slipped through the cracks because this guy's a paramedic.
He's a fucking that's the
and there's
scariest
and
thing.
it's so scary. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing. How is this real?
I mean, he just clearly covered his tracks. So I don't know, or maybe since he's a paramedic, he probably has ties with the police somehow.
Who knows?
Somehow
he's getting the fuck away. That's insane. The only thing that's sort of redeeming in this story was that Becky had like at least a nice ending with Joy.
At least she had an ounce of happy. At least she got to experience that type of beautiful love.
Right. At least there was that. But holy fuck, what a dark, sinister story.
The thing that just really rattles me about stories like this is how. What am I trying to say? It just really deeply disturbs me and brings me pain to know that like what women have to go through at the hands of men that are like this, that are just ultimate abusers, literal murderers, like this right here. This is fucking evil. Yeah,
it's evil. He's like, this is a pure, sinister evil man. He has a wife and a family.
And killing dog. Like how much hate is in your fucking heart to kill? Like,
and this is when you like the conversation comes back to, are people like able to be rehabilitated? Somebody like this, no. But this is we're dealing with sociopathy and narcissism.
This is someone who has no. I think if you
Devoid
murder
of
someone
empathy.
out of like, I don't know, it's very complex, but I do think there are certain cases that like a murderer like this. No, exactly. This is sociopathic and
completely devoid of empathy, compassion.
I can't believe he got away with it, and he's married with kids. Wow,
and that he's a literal.
Wow,
how was this not investigated? Like literally, with 2 of these women and the dogs gone in 1 year, and he's still. And they're like, what even happens? People just shrug their shoulders and they go, well, we can't prove it. Really, this case like needs to be reopened.
Bitch, we need like a docu-series on this fucking case.
This
we
is
need
a
to, like,
horrible case.
You know, I hate to say this, and I'm not trying to be funny, but you need to like literally tell the story on TikTok and have it go viral.
Yeah,
because there's certain people that have done that, and then they get justice.
This is horrible. This is a true real life nightmare. This man is in existence right now with it.
But then think about the people. Think about like. Yeah, like he's in a position, he's like a savior of society. He's a paramedic. And then like just start thinking about that. Think about the doctors. Think about people in these positions that are supposed to be like, you're supposed to like protect and help the community, and you're out here fucking murking them. The fuck?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's even like, it kind of reminds me of that documentary Our Father, where he was
Yes.
the OBGYN who was just like filling up women with his fucking cum.
Oh, that fucking rapist freak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these fucking dude, just like these people that are, you know, they have these jobs that are high profile jobs or whatever, and they just take advantage of people.
Because again, unfortunately the people that are drawn to positions of power are like the psychotic narcissists.
Not all, obviously. Like there are people
Not
out
all,
there
but,
who
like,
want to do good.
Deeply horrifying.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's terrifying.
And you know what's, I mean, obviously we're touching on it, but like it's the helplessness.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for your family. It's
I
a
know.
terrible story.
Fuck.
You want a palate cleanser?
Literally.
Okay. I fucked my cousin. Hey, honks. Let's just get to it. Yeah, let's just get to it.
I mean, this podcast is honestly fucked.
Yeah, let's just get to it. I
Let's
fucked
get
my
it.
cousin.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it was my first cousin.
Yeah, it was, girl.
Yes, it was good.
Yeah, bitch. And of course it was.
But let's get one thing straight.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Damn.
This was not a cousin I ever really knew or grew up with or spent time with.
Okay.
I think when I was a baby, our family spent some time together, but I have zero memory of this cousin growing up. I just knew they existed.
And see, Gab, on the last episode when you were like, how can this happen? That's how that can happen.
Still, it's like you still went into it knowing it's your cousin. If I met a guy that I knew was my cousin, I'd be like,
bitch,
I
you
can't
met
fuck
James and you said, damn, that's hot.
No, I wouldn't fuck James. James is a pussy. I would fuck my other cousin, Jake. He's hot.
Okay.
He has money.
Okay. It's not doing what you think it's doing, but okay.
He's hot.
Okay. And he's your cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a close relative of ours passed away. I traveled to attend the funeral, and a couple days before the funeral
And that's on Shiva, baby.
is when I met my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
We went for drinks later with more family and obviously got a little toasted. After we all departed, I don't know what made me so brazen as to text this cousin to continue the party at their place. I went over, we laid ground rules, and well, you know, one thing I remember is my cousin saying, look, we're both going through a lot. We just need this.
That's kind of pimp.
The death. I love that they use the death of a family member as like, let's just get this over with.
Like, hey, we already know it's going to happen. You
We're
know it,
both
I know
grieving-
it.
We're both grieving the same family member. Let's
Let's
come
go.
on.
Yeah, come on. Be honest.
Okay.
You look like a flasher. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Don't think anyone needs to fuck their cousin, but okay. First of all, okay, and not you then judging him and being like, don't think anybody needs to fuck their cousin. Well, you did it. I like that she's literally coming for him.
She goes, look, bitch, I did it. It was good. You're all fucking mad and you could never get with a hot person in or out of your family, but not everyone needs to do it. It's like, okay.
She's
what?
literally, it's after the funeral, a couple days later, my cousin hosted a little celebration of life at their place and I went. It was a weird situation where I had to act like I'd never been there before and say, beautiful home, ask where the bathroom is, even though I'd been there, etc.
And you emptied out his kids into the toilet.
Yeah, you
from your
literally
pussy.
took a big cum shit into his toilet and said,
Yeah.
all right, later, cuz. Gave him
Yeah.
a fist bump and said, I'll see
you at the
See you at the
fam.
family reunion.
This is kind of punk rock if you really think about it.
I'd like to blame it on the fact that I was going through a lot at the time, but honestly, I can't say I wouldn't do it again. Whoops.
Okay. Period.
Okay. What's even funnier is that I wrote into you guys before this all happened, and I joked around that I was from the Midwest but didn't fuck my cousin, but also haven't tried yet. Whoops. I've told all my friends this happened because it's so goddamn funny.
It is goddamn
You're
funny.
literally unhinged.
And I honestly love that.
But I also have a horrible fear that it'll get out in my family. LMAO. Okay, well, you know,
But that's what
it's
makes
either
it
gonna
hotter.
be you or your cousin that's ratting.
And honestly, I hate to say this, I think it might be you.
My one of my friends said, "My God, you are so powerful." After I told him, now that's an interesting response. Because if you came to me and you were like, "I just fucked my cousin, it was good,"
Well,
I'd
you're
do it
gonna be
again.
fucking jealous, so it's different.
I wouldn't say, "Wow, you're so powerful." I'd go, "Now, do you think it's time to maybe talk to a therapist?"
No, Gab, but see, you're just being a hater. Because if you came to me and you said that you fucked Jake, I would be like, damn, where at?
You wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
You wouldn't.
Yes, I would. I'm being real right now.
You wouldn't. If I sincerely fucked my cousin, I would
That
say
is so funny, Gabby.
it's.
Are you kidding? I would be laughing. If you came to me and you said, hey, I just did missionary eye contact with
That's
Jake.
With Jake, my mom's sister's son.
I would say, ha, 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 ha. That's funny, bitch.
That's not. Now I'm worried about you.
Well,
that's
I don't
not the
have any
right
cousins I want to
reaction.
fuck. It's not. Because I should be saying that you're powerful. Because that's the right reaction. That's power.
This feels like you're gaslighting me.
It
This
might.
feels like you're gaslighting me.
And I might.
Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, this cousin is very hot.
Yeah, you already said it 2 times.
Yeah,
It
you
seems
said
like
it.
you
You
want
said it.
seconds, bitch.
I mean, they fucking better. They better be if I'm performing incest with them. Okay, sis.
Okay, you told us.
I like that you literally, it's like you keep getting mad at us and then mad at your cousin, and you're like, yeah, my fucking cousin said that oh yeah, you think it's cool to propose that I fuck you? And guess what? Yeah, he was hot. Okay, girl.
Yeah, and he was. Okay, thick dick cuz.
You gotta get on antipsychotics.
Okay, no, and you know what?
Or maybe don't.
You've been talking on this podcast for 3 years about how you want to slip and slide that fucking...
But when it comes down to it, what I actually... No, I'm not gonna fuck my cousin.
Because you're not a real one, because you're fake, and I think that's the big issue. She's a fucking real one, and that's why she's angry, because she knew that you were going to be coming at judgment.
Yeah.
You know what? Good for you.
Yeah, I do like
Good
the
for
energy
you.
in which you sent
You had
this.
a funeral
Or do I hate
fuck.
it?
You had a funeral fuck, and I think that's hot.
I forgot that I missed my Lexapro yesterday, and now I'm getting my brain zapped. I don't love that.
No, I think you're just trying to deflect from the fact that you're actually more prudent.
Yeah, anyway, thanks for everything you do. Your podcast gives me life. Yeah, well, it takes years off of mine, so...
Yeah, and it does. But also, here's the thing. You also do that to yourself. So at the end of the day...
Yeah.
We're the result of all of our own peace. I can't believe that's the story that we are ending on. And
no, wait, we have a little short one.
It's
a, you know...
Dark family secret. Hi. So this isn't a secret anymore, but it was for many years apparently. It's one of your favorite subjects. I'm already mad. I found out a couple years ago a dark as fuck secret about one of my uncles. I'm pissed. He was recently retired. Okay, wait.
Okay.
I don't like this story. No offense, but he was a recently retired high school guidance counselor and a child psychologist.
Okay.
At some point in his later years, him and his wife even took in foster children.
Okay.
When he met his wife, she already had 3 daughters from a previous marriage, and they later went on to have 2 children of their own. All of the children are now adults, and the stepdaughters are about middle age. Just found out with one of those daughters, my uncle started raping her at gunpoint from ages 9 to 14. Gabby just squirted, for those of you that are just listening and not watching. He also told her that if she told on him, he would murder her family.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's my opinion he's done this to other children. Okay, wait. It's my opinion he's done this to other children because what are the chances he hasn't? Also, would not surprise me if he's murdered someone before, but hey, who knows? XOXO.
Thank you guys so much for writing in.
So this has been tea time. As always, I am depressed and Gabby is stressed. Bye.
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 Bye.